We have made it to our first destination. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. This run might look a little bit different than my normal shirtless beach runs, and that's because we're in Amsterdam. We are at the start of like a week and a half long little Euro trip. Amsterdam, Paris, then some wine country, Bordeaux, Reims, Champagne. We just touched down like an hour ago, and you know me, I gotta wear myself out if I'm gonna get any sleep tonight with this time change. So we're out for a little jog. My favorite way to explore a new city. Stay tuned for what's in store because a lot of this is brand new for me. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. As you can tell, the South Floridians are a little bit chilled.
Bit brisk.
What is it, 35 out right now?
I think it feels like 20.
Feels like 20.
It's a bit windy.
We're walking to go see the Rembrandt right now at the Rembrandt at the Reich Museum. Brooke's been here before. I have not. And
highly recommend it if you've never been.
First impressions, it is cold and gloom, but Brooke brightens my day, so I'm able to survive this weather.
It's funny because I love this weather.
Me, I do not. I am cold-blooded, and I just get very cold easily. And I don't really fit. My Amsterdam style is not really like there. As our friend Shannon said, I look Eastern European.
I look like I'm from here.
Brooke's got a little more style than I do. Check back in later. There she is. The Reich Museum. Wow.
What I was telling you earlier, they go in and chip the paint and they can figure out what year each layer of paint is from.
Are they repainting it right now?
No, they're trying to discover how long it actually took him to paint based off of the age of the paint.
Interesting. What's it supposed to be a painting of?
A meeting.
Well, we did it. We saw the Rembrandt,
In
the Night
library.
Watch, the library, and then a hidden gem, this pen-only painting, which in order of coolest to least coolest, I'd probably put library and... I'm getting out the way. I'd probably go library, pen painting, and then the Rembrandt, or the Night Watch from the Rembrandt. All in all, spent as much time in there as we needed to.
An hour.
Out on the canals. It's
Dare
a lot.
you to jump in.
It is a lot more lively now that the sun has set. Or also we're in a different part of town.
We are. I like this part of town better.
Yeah, so going to dinner, something nice and casual, and then a full day tomorrow, hopefully rested. Good morning, Amsterdam. We survived our first day of travel, and I'm actually feeling a lot better today. I've been dealing with like a little bit of a cold. That run helped a little bit. Been taking Dayquil, some NyQuil last night, and today, not 100%, but feeling better, and I'm pumped because we went to bed early enough last night, taking it easy after being worn out from travel. I'm gonna go get a workout in. Just like running is one of my favorite ways to explore new cities, so is going to the gyms. I think it's a great way to kind of see the normal routines of people, the culture. All the gyms are the same. You get the same type of people, but it's a lot different when you're in different countries. Just the style, the clothes. I love seeing it all, seeing what people are up to. So we're up bright and early before everybody, walking to the gym. Again, the only idiot out here in shorts, and that's because I didn't pack enough sweatpants. If we're going for as long as we actually are, I only brought a carry-on, and I pride myself on it. I don't know why. I pride myself on going on these long trips with just a backpack and a carry-on suitcase. It's just me. It's literally just an ego thing, and I know that, and I'm still gonna stick to it. So we're gonna get this workout in. I might do full body, maybe just upper body. I'm not gonna lie, sitting on that plane for a long time tore my legs up, but I'm looking forward to it. And that's done. Actually, surprisingly, a very nice gym. I tend to find when traveling into other countries, the gyms are nice for sure, but not like fancy, clean, like some of the American gyms. And that one was very, very nice. Had a hookup, so don't know how much a day pass was there. I got in for free, but yeah, Fit More, Amsterdam, that was absolutely top tier. Great upper body lift. We're now walking back. I think I'm gonna stop at this bakery that's apparently on the corner, pick up some breakfast for the folks, and then get on with our day. Croissants acquired, protein shake from the gym acquired. This little bakery right here, Baccarat, apparently is top tier. They had some good looking stuff. All I wanted though was a chocolate croissant for Brooke. I'm not a big croissant person. They were out, so I just got everybody some regular croissants, and they smell absolutely fantastic. Van Gogh Museum.
My hair looks crazy.
I think it looks pretty cool. What did you think of the Van Gogh Museum?
Well, you know, I just love the guy, so I did enjoy seeing him again.
It was cool. We did the audio tour, gave you a story of his life, saw the progression of his paintings. Psycho, but really good painter. I mean, he was. He cut his own ear off. Now we're at Brooke's recommendation, Mama Pancake. American, also non-American crepe style.
We got Dutch style pancakes.
So, super thin. They had like salmon, goat cheese pancakes. Just got plain and... Oh, thank you. Thank you. There we go. Super pumped for this. I am starving right now. This looks spectacular. Breakfast plate, banana pancake, normal pancake. Oh my gosh. That looks so good. Those eggs are very orange.
I know.
And then that, all with a view. Spectacular. This is a cute little alleyway, minus that.
Minus the truck.
The truck, but other than that, stopped by the Anne Frank house. That was an intense aura going on around it. Very weird seeing it. And now we're just exploring. Another beautiful day in the Dom. Up early this morning, back at that bakery, getting a cup of coffee. This time they had some chocolate croissants, so I got the gang some. They're still sound asleep, but we are actually up early today because we are catching a train, not tram, to Paris. Brooke has never been to Paris. I have been there. It's like a 3-hour train ride from Amsterdam, so we have a 9 a.m. train. It's about 7 a.m. right now. And yeah, Amsterdam was great. Quick little in and out here. Didn't do some of the tourist attractions, but saw quite a few of them. I can start to see why people do want to live here. It is cold right now, but apparently it's not always cold. And it's a city, but it's really, you saw, it was great. So that's the plan for today. Chocolate croissants, coffee, train to Paris, and we'll see what's in store for us. See you there. Good morning, day 2 in Paris. Saw the Eiffel Tower last night. Got to show Brooke it light up. We had a more casual dinner sitting outside, and it was a beautiful day. An exhausting half day, the train and everything, so we didn't get in until maybe 2 when we finally settled into our hotel and then sat down for lunch and everything and explored. And now we are heading to the gym here. My biggest recommendation when traveling abroad, especially in bigger cities, is Basic Fit. You can really find them anywhere, or not anywhere, but in most large cities you can find a Basic Fit. I've been to one in multiple other countries. The one here, it's like $10 for a day pass. There's really nobody working there. And yeah, bought my gym pass yesterday. All I do is scan my QR code, walk in today, and it is consistent and it's a decent gym. So we're gonna get this workout in, and then we have a full day of exploring Paris ahead of us. I think we're gonna hit the Louvre. We're going to Notre Dame, maybe Saint Chapelle Church, I think is what it's called, and bop around all day. And then we have one more joining our party later today. We met up with my parents, so that's been nice. And then cousins coming to join us, and yeah, keep this party going. So let's get this workout in early before these streets get filled and have ourselves a little day. This is like huge tourist part of town. Normally, especially in the summer, it's like wall-to-wall people. But right now, there's like no one out here. I'm telling you, best ways to explore a city. Early in the morning, go for runs, go to the gym. So ever since that marathon, just about 2 weeks ago at this point, my IT band has been on fire. Like when I wake up in the morning, or if I've been sitting for a little bit and it's stiff, I can hardly bend it. So to kind of adapt to the situation and be smart while I can, I've been doing stair steppers. It's a little less impact than running is, and I'm still getting some cardio. I'm not getting any faster really, but at the same time, I'm not losing a bunch of endurance. Did about 45 minutes of legs and back, and then 30 minutes on the stair stepper, which isn't anything crazy, but I'm also on vacation. I need to rest it, so stars are aligning and yelling at me to not run. So as much as I want to continue to run around the city, I can't really do that. So we did 30 minutes staring at a blank wall, watching Lord of the Rings. I am on a kick of that right now. I really don't know why. But now we are heading up to meet with Brooke and my sister, who's gonna go meet some friends, but she knows how to travel around the city. She's lived here for a few years, and we are not locals. So we're gonna use her tools of the trade and catch a little train ride to the Louvre. We get tickets at 1:30 today, and I've seen it before, Brooke has not, but I cannot remember anything besides the Mona Lisa in it. So looking forward to that on this brisk, beautiful day in Paris. Does it look like you thought it would?
No.
Wow. Pretty neat. That one's even crazier.
This is my good friend Napoleon. This is his house.
Mona Lisa time.
She's a bit of a pick-me.
Wow, look at her. And all these people. It's actually insane how many people are here.
She's ripped.
What'd you think of the Louvre?
I wish I could rent it out and go by myself.
I know, it is. It's like too packed to be able to enjoy it. It
And
was
then
nice.
I can't find my way around.
I think that's also what was nice about doing the guided tour at Van Gogh. It wasn't as packed. Caesar.
I've seen.
Great. Nancy, thank you. One more fork? Yep. Grilled chicken this time. But that was nice about doing the guided tour at Van Gogh. One, it was less busy, but two, when you had like headphones in, you kind of zoned out what everyone else was doing. And we didn't do that this time.
And I
way busy.
can't even listen to. I can't even not have something going on in general.
Yeah. It's just a lot going on. And we were lost for most of the time.
Anyway, we got a salad.
First time with grilled chicken.
And it always comes with egg here. I don't like egg.
Fine.
I'm like, this is too. So why are we?
Brooke's trying her first ever snail.
Thank you.
I'm really scared.
It's really hot.
Come on.
No, it's fine.
Okay. The video's gonna be too long to send.
Oh, Ty, you didn't even get the joke.
I know, I got a little bit.
The garlic it makes it okay.
It's actually pretty good.
Oh, there you have it. Brooke and I are not the best at using public transportation,
But we did it.
but we made it. Taking the chain to Champagne.
See you there.
Vamos. Look at that. There it is. Notre Dame. Bonjour from Champagne, Reims, something like that. The town in Champagne. It was about a 45-minute train ride from Paris, which we took about 1:30 in the afternoon. It was a little bit delayed because anytime there is a bag that's left on the train, they have to investigate it. So the person that was on the train before us left a bag, delayed us about 30 minutes. So we ended up getting in a little bit later, but easy 45-minute train ride, and then like a 15-minute tram ride. And then now we're staying at this nice little Airbnb somewhere downtown. It is a much smaller, much quieter town. We did some champagne tasting and then a fantastic dinner here. And one thing that I love about this place already is truffle. There is truffle everywhere. It is a little bit busier of a town than I thought. It is, minuscule compared to Paris, but there is a little bit more happening than I thought. I didn't even think there'd be a gym here, and there's multiple options. We're again walking to a Basic Fit. They have one here. Gonna do some cardio, just sweat a little bit. We've lifted the last couple days in Paris, and so now we're just gonna get some cardio because we're pretty booked the next few days. Don't feel like waking up at 6 a.m. to get these workouts in. So this will be the last workout for 2 days probably. And so yeah, we've got some smaller little places booked today, some bigger, fancier ones booked here the next couple days. Vav, Dom, maybe another big one. But yeah, now is the part of the trip on why we came here. The beginning was just some extra add-ons. Wanted to go to Amsterdam because we were here, have some fun, see some friends. Wanted to go to Paris because Brooke's never been to Paris, and of course you got to go to Paris at some point to get here, so you might as well spend a couple days. And now we're gonna do some tastings for the next week or so, pop around. But today we're in Champagne. One thing that's thrown me in a little bit of a loop this trip is it's late February and it should have been freezing. Amsterdam was freezing. We saw a little bit of snow when we got in, but lately it's been 50 degrees right now. I'm going to the gym, so I'm a little bit chill, but I'm walking in shorts and a sweatshirt, and I'm honestly not too bad. I packed way heavier stuff, and honestly, there's been a couple of times when I thought I should be wearing a t-shirt in the afternoon. And obviously at night when the sun goes down, it's a little bit colder, the wind's cold, but overall the temperature's been a lot warmer, which probably nice. So let's get this workout in. Let's get this day going. The first champagne tasting in Champagne. Pretty. It is. How big is this? How big is this town?
5, 6, maybe 7 people.
Nice. So one thing to note when traveling to Champagne is you have like the main city, which is like Reims, right? And then you have all the vineyards and everything surrounding outside of it, which are just 20-minute Uber, 10 to 45-minute Uber, depending on where you are going. And you obviously have the very big vineyards like Dom, Veuve, Ruinart, ones that we're going to like today, and then the ones that we went to yesterday, which are smaller, family owned, and they are not near as exciting, but you can buy champagnes that you can't get in the States, and if you can get in the States, are double, triple the price. So yesterday, Brooke and I just bought 2 bottles. One was 25 euro, one was 30 euro, but those, one you can't get in the States, the other one you can, and instead of being a $30 bottle, it's like an $80 bottle of champagne. So, you know, if you have some room in your luggage, whether you just want a bottle that you can only get out of Champagne, which by the way, champagne can only come from Champagne. If it's from somewhere else, it's not Champagne. Sparkling, Prosecco, etc. So, hack, even though everyone wants to go to the big ones, which are pricier to get to, have really good, consistent champagne, the smaller ones often are the gems, cheaper to go to, select bottles that you can only get there, and better deals. So yesterday, 3 small family-owned vineyards, bought a bottle at 2 of them, and today we're hitting the fancier, bigger ones, which we may still get a bottle if there's a deal. At this view. Oh wow, that is so pretty. Unsure where we're supposed to meet our next tour, but we just finished up at Ruinart, and that was lovely. That was so good, and now we are outside the house of Dom Perignon. Today, like I said, fancy tastings, and it is living up to the hype. This morning and now this afternoon with another tasting, and it has been so good, so pretty, very at the level which we thought it would be. Ruinart and Dom Perignon were both fantastic, but for different reasons. The Ruinart experience was insane. We went down into the cellar. They had some crazy artwork down there, some replicating the ocean, some just interpretation. The house was beautiful, the property was beautiful, the tour guide was great, the experience was fantastic, and the wine, or the champagne, was unbelievable. And theirs is interesting, and something that I thought I would like. I mean, I really liked it, but something that I thought would end up being my favorite, because they have 100% Chardonnay champagnes is what they're known for. The tour, the experience was still magnificent. We saw the old Dom Perignon church, his tomb, but we didn't go into any wine cellars. The property was still beautiful, but it wasn't as ridiculous as the Ruinart was. They just didn't have the art. It was more historic, old, I guess you could say. So still just as beautiful, but nothing like Ruinart and how ridiculous that was. But the difference between the two was the Dom Perignon champagne that we're drinking, which is not 100% Chardonnay. It's 50% Chardonnay, 50% Pinot Noir. So it's a little more complicated. And the difference with those champagnes is you can age them forever. So we started with their basic and worked their way up, and actually drank a P2 vintage 2000, the year 2000 champagne, and it was quite ridiculous in all the good ways. The champagne compared to Ruinart, I would say, and which surprised me, because like I said, typically I like Chardonnay wine, but their champagnes were outstanding. So while the experience of the tour for Ruinart was way better with the artwork, the scenery, tour, and the wines was great, Dom Perignon actually, I think, had the better champagnes, and I think it's priced a little bit more, but also that's a lot of marketing. But overall, those two tours yesterday were so good, and definitely a memory of a lifetime. We did not buy any champagnes from there. One, because you can get it in the States, and having to lug it home did not seem super easy or make a lot of sense. And when you think of taking it home, when you can buy it at home, you think of the cost savings, and there is no cost savings with those champagnes. I mean, you could spend thousands of dollars on a bottle that they were selling. So we did not purchase any of that wine, but I'm so happy for the experience. It's now our last day here in Champagne, heading to the gym. Of course, we're not gonna be able to go to the gym tomorrow, get an earlier morning, but we are then heading to Veuve Clicquot, one of Brooke's favorites, and then off to Bordeaux to drink some Bordeaux reds, and that should be an experience itself. All right, saying bye to our humble abode here in Champagne the last 3 days. This is what we've been staying with, and we are right by the cathedral, so we're in a pretty good location. It's a little bit more quieter on this side of town, a little bit nicer, but for the four of us, I forget the price, but it was super reasonable for a 4-bedroom Airbnb. Obviously, Brooke and I slept together, so we even had an empty bedroom. We were able to do some laundry here. The kitchen, super nice. I mean, we didn't really ever cook, but fridge, you could cook, made some coffee. A nice little view, I guess a little track, but just some other houses. And then you've got your washing machine in there, and our nice little living room, super spacious. We didn't ever really utilize it. Some Starbucks, of course, even when abroad. But another good view. I mean, how can you complain about this? Just spectacular. Yeah, so we hung out there a little bit, but we never really did too much. Some coat racks. Here's the bedroom that didn't get used, but they also have a dryer in here if you wanted to use it, although there was an interesting smell in there, so we ended up just hanging our clothes. Here's where my sister stayed. Here's where Brooke and I were. Nice queen size bed. They labeled this as 1.5 bathrooms when really it's a sink and a shower, and a toilet. I think that's some false advertising. And then here is the 4th bedroom where Chelsea stayed. And it's honestly been great for the price. It was a steal. Way better than our hotel in Paris, which was a tiny little shoebox for more of the price. So staying here is actually pretty cheap and you can find good options. Champagne tastings can get a little pricey if you're doing the fancier ones, but if you're doing the smaller ones, which sometimes are just as good of champagne and a little bit more meaningful, especially if you bring a bottle home because you can't get it in the States. But now I'm wrapping up. They are already off doing their own thing. Of course, I hit the gym this morning and I'm cleaning up, about to close out this Airbnb. But yes, Reims, I think that's how you say it, is the place to stay if you are in Champagne. It's a little bit bigger of a city, a little busier city, gyms, lots of places to eat. Gets a little lively at night in some points. The whole joke this time has been that this is just a college town. It's not, but it's super cute, decently priced. It's only a 45-minute train ride to Paris from here, so it's pretty easy to get to. And this has been a great part of the trip. But we're gonna meet up with everyone, and then we have Veuve Clicquot champagne tasting today, and then we have a 45-minute train to Paris, and then 2-hour, maybe 3-hour train to Bordeaux. So nothing like doing some champagne tasting and then sitting on a train for a little bit, but I'm sure we'll take some good naps on that. So that's the plan for today. I'll show you around Veuve and we'll keep it going. Veuve was very good champagne as expected. Tour was a little underwhelming, but still so beautiful. And we learned a lot more about the history of champagne making. And now we are walking to our train to Bordeaux, where we're gonna drink some reds tomorrow. We're gonna get in late tonight and probably drink some champagne and maybe take a nap on this train. A couple more days here. See you in the morning. Bonjour from Bordeaux. Made it in late last night. Went to bed probably right before 1 a.m. No hiccups on the train, but still just a long day of travel, and then up early for our final day of wine tasting here in Bordeaux. We're gonna do some of those Bordeaux reds. Tired for sure, but we're up. It's almost 8. I'm gonna go for a little walk, maybe see if I can find us some pastries before we get picked up by 9 a.m. for a full day, 9 to 5 tour of wine tasting. We've got a guided tour today, so we're being picked up by a van, and then we're just gonna bop around from houses and be taking on a more curated tour. Paid a little extra to have a full day guide. So excited for that. It is very beautiful here. I did not realize, again, how big of a city this is, and just driving in from the train station last night. This place is pretty. Everybody's still getting up. I'm gonna walk around and see what I can find. And yeah, one more full day of wine tasting, and then tomorrow we have nothing. We're just gonna explore the city and see what it has to offer, and then finally the last day we leave bright and early. So 2 more full days of our long trip and 1 last day of tasting. So I'm super excited for it. This is a beautiful freaking door that I'm standing in. On the corner of this street. The thing about the French, especially in these cities, is no place really opens until like 9 a.m. So not too sure what I'm gonna find, but What another pleasant day here it is in Europe. I'm going to enjoy this trip till the very last minute because I was thinking this morning, why do you push back your return until the very last day that you can? And then a lot of people, and me sometimes, and I try to fight it, the last few days are ruined because you're thinking about your return trip, when this part of the trip is just as much a part of the trip and the journey as the very beginning was, when you're super excited. Why let your return ruin the last little bit of your trip? And I'm not gonna let that happen. So I'm gonna have just as much fun today and tomorrow as I would on the very first day. So let's taste some more wines. Well, the trip is slowly coming to an end. We are in our last day in Bordeaux. Hit the gym this morning, dinner last night, and just gonna explore today, take it a little bit easier. We've got a 6 a.m. flight out of here in the morning, so gonna have to get picked up at like 4 a.m. To make it on time. But what a great trip. Learned a lot about wine, had a lot of fun, a memory that gonna last a lifetime. And that's the thing about traveling, is sometimes it's intimidating and sometimes it's difficult because of the prices and because of the time it takes to travel, and getting to some of these places is not easy. I mean, we took a train until midnight to get to Bordeaux from Champagne, like 4 hours on the train, and then to get to the actual chateaus took another hour and a half drive. So it is not easy to get here, but it is a memory that you're always going to remember. And I think making memories is part of living. Exploring the world is a huge part of what you should try to do in life. Experience things, see things that not many people get the chance to see. If you have the opportunity, I suggest it. Amsterdam, first time I went there, loved it. First day, I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't really know how I felt about it, but after a full day in Amsterdam and exploring around, and the more I thought about it, I really loved it. Out of all the places we went, I could see myself living in Amsterdam the most. You know me, I'm not the biggest fan of the cold, and it was very chilly while we were there, but it was a big city, but lots of young people, lots of things to do, very pretty. And what I've seen and what I've heard is when the weather's a little bit nicer, especially in the summertime, it is just lovely. And I think I could see myself living in Amsterdam. It reminded me of a historical Chicago, is probably the best way I could put it. Just so pretty, so fun, loved it. Paris, great as always. I'm glad Brooke got to experience that. Saw the Eiffel Tower. It is not my favorite though, because big major cities like that, London, Paris, New York, like they are just big cities. Paris is so pretty. There's lots of history. But at the end of the day, I felt like I was just in another big city, and it could have been anywhere in the world, and I didn't need to travel all this way to experience Paris. I think you should see the Eiffel Tower once because it is magnificent, but it's not my favorite. It's just another big city. Champagne. Oh my gosh, that was so cool. Seeing all the wine cellars, the 35, 40 meters down, made out of clay, chalk, whatever it was, tasting the champagne, staying in Roms. That was a highlight of this trip. The wine was so good. Food was okay, but seeing those cellars, learning about the art of making champagne is something that I'm going to remember, and it really makes me appreciate drinking champagne more. If I'm going to be honest, it was very meaningful, and it makes you appreciate how difficult it is to make some of these good champagnes, and makes the taste of them taste even better because you know the work and the effort, and you can see the story behind it on how it got into your glass. I would highly recommend going to Champagne. If you're in Paris It's a 45-minute train ride to Champagne. I would recommend going a day or two into Champagne, seeing some of the small wineries and then seeing some of the big wineries as well if you can. They're a little bit harder to get access to, but that was a great trip. And staying in Rom's super cheap. For the 4 of us, 2-3 nights, whatever it was, in an Airbnb, $500. We spent 2 nights in Paris, and it was $500 for each hotel for the 4 of us. So 4 people staying in Paris, $1,000 for 2 nights. 4 people staying in Champagne for 3 nights, like $150 each. So a lot cheaper once you're there. And then Bordeaux, I'm not the biggest red wine drinker, but this is one of the number 7 on the biggest cities in France. It's a party place. There's a lot of young people. There's a lot of activity going on. The buildings are so pretty. The chateaus were so pretty. I mean, they're basically castles. Now, I didn't enjoy the wine as much, but it did make me appreciate it. And it's got its own little bit different of an art with the barrels and everything. But we do a lot of that back in the U.S. Now, it's not as complicated with some of the grapes and stuff, but very similar to what we do in the U.S. And you can get red wine anywhere. Champagne can only come from Champagne, so it makes you appreciate it that much more. I would not overly recommend going to Bordeaux unless you love red wine. It is super pretty here if you have the opportunity to go, but if you're forcing it and you have other travel plans, I would not say it is necessary. Also, travel hack, gyms, Basic Fit. There's been a Basic Fit in every city we've been, and it's 12 euros, so like $14. It's got everything you need, free weights, machines. It's never super busy. It's everywhere, super accessible. There's like 3 Basic Fits here in Bordeaux from our hotel less than a mile away. So overall, France trip, A1. Paris, expensive. Amsterdam, expensive. Champagne, not crazy expensive except for some of the tastings, but those are about $75 to $100. And you taste some great champagnes and you learn a lot. Bordeaux, super pretty. Not my favorite, probably my least favorite on the trip. But besides the plane tickets, once you get over here, it's not super crazy expensive besides Paris. Amsterdam, you know, like I said, similar to a Chicago vibe, so it can get pricey depending on what you're doing. We're going to explore the city today. We've got a late lunch, going to feast, probably skip dinner, catch the plane ride in the morning, hopefully smooth travels. But a great experience. I'm glad I got to experience it with Brooke, my sister, cousin, parents for some of it, and it's a memory of a lifetime. A trip that's going to make me more well-rounded, more cultured. Some days were great, some days I was tired, but you're not going to remember any of that jet lag, the travel, the stomach issues, whatever it is. You're just going to remember the highlights, and yeah, a great time. Guys, thanks for watching another video. This is not my typical video as you've seen my other ones, but I do like to document my life and my experiences, and I'm going to be able to look back at this video and remember some of this stuff, and hopefully you watching got a little bit more travel tips, hacks, maybe you pick some things up, and I appreciate all of you that watch. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you back in the States.